Practicing meditation techniques is something that takes time. 2 hours a day are initially needed. You have to choose 2 techniques: a cathartic to be performed in the morning and a traditional meditation technique to be performed at night. Choose a technique and practice it for a period that can vary from 2 months to a year. 2 months are the minimum to get to know a technique in depth. Generally, after a year, you will have obtained all the experience that the technique can give you. So, it will be time to move on to a new technique. Obviously, this period, ranging from 2 months to 1 year, are indicative. Meditation is a subjective and not an objective thing, so it is very difficult to generalize. Talking and explaining science is a very easy thing. There are rules, general concepts that are constant for all people. It does not matter to be Indian, Italian, German. Everyone will have the same rules. Meditation is simply the opposite. It is so difficult to explain. When you define truth, you realize that what you say is not the truth, but only a part of the truth. It is impossible to define the truth. The only thing possible is to try to tell as much truth as possible. By this, the speaker means it is impossible to express the truth to 100%, but the only thing one can prove is to get as close to 100% as possible, but being aware of the fact that it is impossible to express the truth completely. When Pontius Pilate asked Jesus what the truth was, Jesus remained silent. Remaining silent is probably the closest thing to define the truth. Obviously, Pontius Pilate did not understand Jesus' answer. Otherwise, he would not have sentenced Jesus to death. Gautama the Buddha was not allowed to ask him what truth was. There were questions which could not be addressed to Gautama. His disciples, on the order of the Buddha, make sure that whoever come to ask Gautama questions was aware that certain questions could not be asked. What is the truth was part of this list of questions which could not be asked. This is the reason why the speaker, at the beginning and at the end, observes a minute of silence, internal and external. What is said in the midst of silence does not really matter. Silence is the message. What is said in the midst of silence is just noise. The speaker speaks only for those people who cannot understand silence. In the hope of making these people want to meditate, so that they can experience silence. Once you have experienced silence, nothing else will be needed. You will be captured. Anything else will simply lose importance. Meditating takes time and has to be done every day for 2 hours. Plus, you have to consider a couple of retreats lasting 21 days each a year, where you can remain isolated in solitude and practice meditation techniques. So, having plenty of free time is a necessary thing for those people who want to meditate. We must learn to make the most of our time and put our life in order. We live in complete disorder. Our society, our life, everything happens in complete disorder. Politicians do nothing but create more and more disorder. Scientists also continue to create disorder. The universe, nature, God live in complete order. So this is the continuous struggle between man and nature. The human being is the only inhabitant of the earth who lives in constant disorder. The more a society becomes scientific and technological, the more is created disorder. Order means that everything must be balanced. And that is what nature does. It balances everything. Scientists are creating an imbalance in our planet, such as overpopulation, pollution, the disappearance of plants and animals, etc. Nature tries to restore the natural balance of things. Here the conflict. Man has no hope of victory against nature. Sooner or later, nature will take over. Because to restore order, nature will simply make the earth uninhabitable for thousands of years. Later on, life on earth will start all over again. Climate change are events that have occurred many times in the life of the earth. one can think of the fact that the North and South Poles were covered with forest millions of years ago. This is not to say that behind nature there is a God who controls it, but it is simple how things are, and things could not be different. The universe lives in constant order, as the word universe suggests. The universe is one. It means that it is one without division. It is only the human being who perceives the division, because his mind is psychologically divided. Reality knows no division, but it is all one, hence the word universe and order. If there is one thing, it is impossible for disorder to exist. For disorder to exist, there must be several things and not just one. With only one thing, how can disorder exist? So, back to meditation. You will need a lot of free time. You will also have to travel. Try not to stay in the same place for too long. A meditator has to live without attachments, and this is very difficult if you live always in the same place. You will also need to live a life without repression. So you will also have to find a way to live your sexuality without being tied down by any traditional relationship. You cannot just meditate. You also have to have fun and be happy. If you just meditate, you will get too serious. You will have an unbalanced life, and this is not good. A meditator lives a balanced life. When he realizes that his life is going too far in one direction, it is time to change direction and go in the opposite direction. Let's take sex. For boys or men on both sexes, between the age of 14 and 42, is the thing with the most energy. So you will have to balance the time you have sex with the time you abstain from it. This is how it works. When you don't have sex for too long a period, you will start having sex dreams. This means that you have been without sex for too long. This fact will disturb your meditation. Any depression disturbs meditation. This not only applies to sex, but also to food, to all aspects of life. Dreaming on the night serves precisely to balance your life. Repressing sex generates sexual dreams. Repress food, that is, if you eat less than you should, at night you will dream of eating. If you don't have fun in life, you will have fun in your dreams. Live the most orderly and balanced life possible. Meditate every day, and then do not worry. Do not judge yourself and your behavior. Meditate 2 hours a day, every day, the right technique, and you will see that things will work out by themselves. Trust in existence and leave it to her to worry about your life. There is nothing to worry about. Worry is just a perception which exists in human psychology. In reality, it does not exist. Worry is just an illusion. Thank you for listening.